Hi, how's it going?
Good morning, Natalia. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
First question. How's the cat?
The cats are doing great.
They sent the info sheet over, and the first thing I saw, I'm like, oh, she loves cats. I forgot about that. So I have to ask, do your cats have accents when they talk back to you?
They are the most spoiled, arrogant kitties that you could ever meet. And they definitely have accents. They have British accents.
They have British. See, we have a mix of Spanish German.
Well,
I
so,
don't know how
so
how to explain it other than to say Spanish German, but yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. So
yes, they're very, they're cultured, so to speak.
very cool. Natalia from the WWE is on the line with me right now. The world of the WWE is in interesting times, to say the least.
It is there's never a dull moment in WWE. That is an understatement, but it's exciting. It keeps us on our toes. And, with lots of change, there's come so many great opportunities, and the company is just growing and growing.
Yeah.
So it's a very exciting time to be a part of WWE.
All right, so the draft just wrapped, or is it still going? It wrapped up, right?
The draft is wrapped, and I believe everybody knows where they've landed. There's a few people that are free agents. So you never know what that's going to bring. But yeah, it's exciting. I got drafted from SmackDown to Raw, but it doesn't mean that I can't still show up on SmackDown. And that's kind of the cool part of being in WWE is that, you're drafted to a certain brand, but you can, if a storyline calls for it, you can show up on another show.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Let me ask you this, and this is just curiosity type stuff, but like when the WWE draft starts coming around, are there hints early on about it, like in the back where it's like the email comes out that it's, hey, this is getting ready to happen, or is there whispers like, hey, I think there's going to be a draft coming up? How did you guys learn about this or this past draft, this most recent one?
How I learned about it was Triple H announced it on Raw, I believe, and then
Oh, so you had no idea.
Yeah, we had no idea. We really learn about a lot of stuff that happens within the company as you guys learn about it.
Oh, really?
And to be perfectly honest, I kind of like it that way because we get to be a part of the fans' excitement, and it's because things can change so fast too.
Yeah.
So in some ways, I'd rather just know about it as it comes rather than hear about it that it gets changed. Then you get your hopes up or you get excited for something and then it doesn't happen. So it is nice to be a part of it and on the journey with the fans when they hear that information as well.
Well, it's just interesting because, every business, no matter what it is, whether it's wrestling, radio, banking, or whatever, everybody has a water cooler talk. And I always think it's interesting what the WWE water cooler talk would be,
There's always chatter and chatter of different things. And it's funny because I've been in WWE now. This is my 16th year with the company. And it's like, I always say to people, believe half of what you read online, but because there's always like weird stories or things that get out there. I'm just using this as an example, but I saw something online saying Cora Jade and Braun Breaker backstage at SmackDown today, and I was like, no, they're not. They're not anywhere near the area. And it's just funny how who knows how that even got out there or why it was being reported as that, but it's just funny because it wasn't true. And then there's times where it's like you'll read something and it'll be true. So it's just I take it one day at a time, and there's always lots of locker room talk, but that's normal, especially in a big organization like WWE. But it's just an exciting time to be a part of the company, whether you're on Raw, whether you're on SmackDown, whether you're in NXT. It's very cool, and I'm grateful for it.
How different is it now than when you started?
For me now, it's, there's a lot of things that have changed and there's a lot of things that have remained the same. And, things that WWE is so steadfast. I mean, we survived a global pandemic. We never missed a single show. We were able to get people through some of the hardest, most challenging times this world has ever faced. We were able to do it with, our heads held high and to be able to bring people entertainment during a very challenging time when people just needed to have some sort of relief. And I think about, all those good changes that have happened, like the company WWE was always very digital. We were always, we've always been one step ahead of the game as far as social media and doing things digitally. And we've got the third largest YouTube channel in the world. And I think that really helped set us apart as far as the direction that we went after the pandemic. But at the end of the day, and I quote Bret the Hitman Hart, talent can't be stopped. And so that's what's really stayed the same, is that if you're talented, you're driven, you're hardworking, and you have a desire to succeed, you can make it in WWE as a superstar. And we have this massive global fan base in over 130 countries around the world, over 30 languages. I mean, it's just we're only getting bigger and bigger, and it's so cool to have a whole array of new fans join us on this journey. So, and it's funny because I see like Bad Bunny and I see Logan Paul, and it's like they're huge in their own right. Bad Bunny sells out a 20 stadium tour in 10 minutes, and he loves WWE. He's a lifelong childhood fan, and he respects what we do. And so it's cool. We have a lot of different eyes on the product right now.
Being a wrestling fan is, different than, actually being in the business itself. But the saying of you don't have to be a good actor to know a bad actor. Bad Bunny is not bad at this. Like him and Logan Paul, when they came in, like it wasn't the typical, hey, guy comes in or gal comes in to just, play a part for a couple weeks. They look like they belong. You know what I'm saying? I
mean, they work hard. And that's really, I think, the key to their success in WWE and also in their other careers.
Yeah.
When we talk WWE, it's those two have worked especially hard, and they train. I mean, Bad Bunny was, before his WrestleMania debut, he was training for months. He moved himself to Orlando and trained. So you can't deny that they work hard, and they've definitely brought a different set of eyes to the company that we may not have had before. And people, they've converted people into being big fans. So I have a lot of respect, in particular for Bad Bunny, because he's one of the most successful musicians in the world, and wildly talented in an entirely different area. And he's shown so much respect to everybody in WWE, and he's just been very hardworking. And Logan Paul's done great too.
Yeah.
I loved Logan Paul's match with The Miz at SummerSlam last year. I thought it was one of the best matches on the card.
Natalya for the WWE on the line. I know we're getting up against it, but I've got two questions for you real quick. One, you brought up Brett. Did you have to ask permission to use the Sharpshooter when you started in WWE?
I actually did. I did ask Brett for permission to use it, and he gave me his blessing. And it's funny because, when I was first in developmental in FCW, the Florida, your farm system, I got some people were saying, don't do what your family does and just take a whole different direction and this and that. But sometimes if it's broke, you don't have to fix it.
No, it's such a great move. I particularly liked the time you did it on two people at once. That was pretty rad. So very cool.
Yes, and that always it's funny because I was the first person to ever do a sharpshooter on two people, and it was ironically very it's funny, people don't always know the story, but Triple H actually was the one who came up with the idea.
Really?
And and I was like, you know what, I think I can do that. And every time, I've done it like 3 or 4 different times throughout my 16-year career, and 2 of those times were at WrestleMania, but it's always gotten a great reaction, always.
That's very cool. Final question. Since you have been drafted to Raw, what's in the cards now for you? What are you looking to do? What's next for Natty?
The one thing that I really want more than anything, and I've been pretty vocal about it, is winning the Raw Women's Championship. It would make me a Grand Slam champion.
Oh,
having
cool.
won the Divas Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship, the Women's Tag Team titles, and then, of course, to win that would be amazing.
You've never been the Raw champion?
Never been the Raw champion.
That's shocking.
So that would be something that would be a dream come true.
Oh, wow. I thought you had.
No, never been the Raw Women's champion.
Well, then hell yeah.
So
very cool stuff.
That's a goal. That's a definite goal that I want.
Awesome. Well, Natty, we wish you nothing but the best. I know we're up against it here. We'll let you get back to your day. Thank you so much for the time. Good luck, and I hope to see you as champion real soon, okay?
Oh, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time, too.